Hey guys, hey, thanks for welcoming new subscribers to the Kangaroo Trucker channel. It's been growing steadily and I've been excited about that. I need to do another video on the trucker path, but I will say one of my friends and subscribers, he actually became a subscriber and then became a friend early on. He's doing some research on a GPS trip planning app that's tied to GPS. So it sounds interesting. I'm going to encourage Rick to put a plan together, a video together, so he could share that, and then I'll share that with you guys. And then AKA Chicken Leg, he's the guy that I was following before I actually sat in the semi-truck. Raymond Gibbs, he also had a form that he sent me that I was sharing with Rick, and we were kind of going through it about planning your clock and time management. And then I saw Chicken Leg had a time management thing on there, so I thought, it's been on my mind a lot. So what I thought I would do today is I wanted to share with you just some time management tips that I might that I use, and if it's helpful, great. If it's not, that's fine. But either way, whether you're a new truck driver or you're experienced, feel free to submit in the comments way down below. And if you get a chance, I think it's over here that you subscribe and like. I'll be curious to see when I actually upload the video if I pointed in the right direction. So I haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, let me know in the comments, if your trip planning tips, and if you think that mine were helpful, that'd be great. And so let's get to it. So one thing, when you do your pre-trip, first you got to make sure you understand, once you start your clock, it won't stop. Your 14 hours of on or off duty time is going to go for 14 hours straight. It doesn't stop. For example, if you start your on-duty clock and you do your pre-trip, and then you go to off-duty, and then you go to drive, if all that took 2 hours, 2 hours of your 14-hour clock is eaten up. Your most precious time is your 11-hour drive, your 11-hour driving. And the second most precious time is your on-duty time. And then your off-duty is your off-duty. So, what I try to do is, and I've learned this, I'm not going to call anybody out, get anybody in trouble, but I've learned this from a couple people. And in the morning, I'll do my pre-trip, even though I'm still off-duty. I may switch it from sleeper to off-duty. But I go out, do my pre-trip. Could take 15 minutes, could take 10 minutes, depending on what's going on. Usually got to have a flashlight, because I usually do it late at night. Today I'm getting a late start, so that's why I'm actually doing a video, finally, for during the cloudy daytime. It's 9:30 this morning at Central Time. I'm in just south of Chicago, near Hammond, Indiana. Heading up to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Town called Zeeland. So do all that, and then let's say I find a problem. Let's say I got a flat tire. Well, I learned, if you follow me, you've learned in previous videos. I didn't do that. I went on duty and did a pre-trip and then found the problem. And even though I put myself off duty, my clock was ticking and I lost 6 hours of time, and it really messed me up. So, what you do on your off duty is your own business. If you happen to want to do an extra pre-trip, so be it. But after I did check it, so if I did have a problem, I could call it in, get it taken care of, have them come out, fix it up. Then however long it took to do that, then I could get on duty, and then I do a new pre-trip. So I do my pre-trips now before I turn my clock on. Then I do my pre-trip. And what I do to save time is, our company requires you to be on duty for a minimum of 6 minutes. 6 minutes on any on-duty activities. That is fueling, pre-tripping, what have you. It's about the only two things I do it for. Oh, and loading or unloading. Gotta be on duty for those. So I set an alarm. I set an alarm on my clock for 7 minutes. And when that alarm goes off, I make sure to switch it to off duty. And that's how you save your clock. Now, on occasion, I will forget to set an alarm, or I may have set an alarm, but I couldn't get to shutting it off in time. Let's say I went 12 minutes. Before you certify your hours, you can go in and edit your clock and make sure I got 7 minutes, or at least 6 minutes on duty. The remainder, I'll just switch to off duty. In the comments, I just put off duty, or switch, or fixed, or corrected, something. You want to do that. So that's a big time saver, and if you run into trouble, that would be helpful. So the next thing is on your 30-minute break. So right now, you got to drive somewhere between 8 hours, but no more than 8 hours. You have to do a 30-minute break. So up to 8 hours you can drive, but you cannot drive 8 hours in 1 minute until you've had a 30-minute break. Now, what I will caution you is plan accordingly, because your 30-minute break can screw you up if you don't do it right. First, you need to be on duty, or preferably on duty and driving, a combination of the two, about 3 hours before you can do a 30-minute break, and it will count. And I know this because for several times I learned the hard way. I was 2 hours into a drive, stopped, did my break, thought it's convenient, I'll do it right here, went on, it didn't work. It didn't consider that a break. So just a rule of thumb, guys, think about it. If they want you to be rested after 8 hours, think about it. If you could drive 11 hours in a day after an 8-hour break, that leaves you 3 hours. So you go 3 hours, knock that off, then you got another 8 hours that you can drive. So that's how it works. A lot of people look at it the other way and they say, oh, I got 8 hours to drive, so I'll just do my break and then I'll be fine. But just keep in mind, you want to go 3 hours. Rule of thumb. All ELDs are different, but from my experience in the 3 places I've been, it all works out to be 3 hours. So just keep that in mind. So the other thing is I do all my 30-minute breaks, if I can, at a rest area. A truck stop is a waste of your time. Because you got a bunch of people in there that seem to not be in any hurry at all. I don't know what their clocks are doing, but especially in the fuel island, there is a real problem with people respecting your clock. And I'll let them know it. I mean, if they deserve to be called out, they deserve to be called out. And I'm faster than the biggest guy, so. But I mean, come on, man. And I tell them straight up, it happens. And you all know who drive. If you drive, you've seen this every day. It's remarkable, and it's generally the newer drivers that they just, I don't know, I guess they don't care. But they will pull up into a fuel island, and they'll get out and they'll go in and take care of their business, come out, and then they'll start fueling. And it's like, no, that is not how this is done. And it's difficult sometimes. You are going to have to do a little more work. If it's a busy time, which it almost always is, you do your business. Then there's a pull-up line. Now, I think, so this is funny. I thought for the longest time, because this is how I used it, the pull-up line, so you go to a fuel island, it's usually overhead, in case it's raining, and you fuel. And then there's a place where you can pull up And I was like, what is this for? So I would pull up, and I took that as the opportunity to figure out how to get out of the truck stop, because it's not obvious. It is not easy and not obvious all the time. I swear. I don't care if you're at Love's, TA, at a truck stop, unknown. Sometimes you just don't know which way to turn. Now, I have a problem with knowing which way to turn anyway. So it's a riot that I'm doing this, because if it weren't for GPS, there's probably no way. Now, I know how to read a map because I'm old, and I can write that down. But you know, if you go in this way and then turn left and then turn right and then turn left, I can't look at the map and get back out the same way I came in. It just never works. So I'm just not wired that way. It is absolutely a riot. So just like today, I just came out of this Love's Denny's. This is the second time I've been back to the truck. I couldn't find my truck. I'm not paying attention when I'm walking in to which direction I went. So when I come out, nothing looks familiar. So it's just, I'm sorry. I shouldn't make myself look stupid, but hey, I'm only human. So hopefully some of you guys can appreciate that. So anyway, so don't pull on fuel aisle and try to get a 30-minute break. It's very difficult to do, and it's not the right place to do it. If you're gonna go to a truck stop, find a spot, get in a spot, walk your happy ass into the truck stop and take care of your business. But you know, I won't do it. Now, I will say this. One time, no, more than one time, when it's not busy, but I just got to go in and take a leak or something real quick, or I want to grab some coffee real quick or something. It's 3 a.m, or it's not at a busy time, but there's maybe it's a little place where there's not a lot of fuel islands. I'll take my fuel pump off the lever, and I'll lay it on my fuel tank. So the person, if they do pull up behind me, they think I'm fueling. But I have a watch. I set my watch. I make it a goal to get in and out of a truck stop fueling area in 6 minutes, because that's kind of how I'm conditioned on my clock. And as long as there's nobody in the bathroom line or nobody in the coffee line, I can usually do that. But I take care of business and get out of the way. And I just think everybody should do that. I mean, look, if I respect your clock, then hopefully someday you'll respect my clock. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, okay, fueling. Oh yeah, I went over the courtesy reminder. Okay, shutting down. Okay, so when you shut down on time management, after you like today, I could have got to my destination. They gave me 6 days to get from California to Michigan. I knew I didn't need 6 days, but I didn't want to tweak it until I knew exactly how I wanted to get there. So, and I'm not experienced. I've been doing this about 13 months now. I'm not experienced enough to just know at the top of my head I can do that like that. That'll come in time, but I still have to map it out, and that might be another video down the road. So what I do is I get up pretty close. Now, I could have got there yesterday, but I would have been completely out of hours, and you can't shut down there. So I would have created a problem for myself. Yeah, I got there, but they couldn't give me a load. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to sit somewhere for 10 hours. So it's like, okay, crap. So what I did was I broke it up so I could stop where I'm at. Now, here's the key. Remember what I said about the 30-minute break? So, what I do is I put myself in a position between now and the time I get to the shipper. I'm going to be on duty for at least 3 hours. So I'm 3 hours away from my destination. Okay? So when I get there and I pull up, I'll hit arrived at shipper, arrived at consignee, receiver. And then once I go into the dock to go off duty, for being unloaded, because I'm not unloading it, I'll get out of the truck and I'll go either walk or I'll go back into sleeper or whatever, but I'll be off duty. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be 30 minutes is easily what it could take to unload a dry van. Sometimes they're quicker than that, but I could do my 30-minute break there. Now, if I get there in 2 hours and get unloaded, and it took 2 hours to unload, I can't use my 30-minute break yet, even though I've been off for 2 hours. So just think ahead. Plus, you want to get to your consignee or receiver, you want to get there and still have what I consider 5 or 6 hours, 3 hours at least, to go somewhere and get either hopefully get a load or at least go somewhere and shut down. So I try to do like 4 or 5 hours left on my clock after I drop my load off, so that they can give me a load, I can go pick it up, and then I can shut down. And then that way you're continuously moving. Because if you not do it right, and you can't always control that, but if you plan for it, I think it helps. So I think that's it. I'm looking at my notes. See, I prepare. This vlogging, or whatever they call it, let me tell you, it takes some work. But it's been really exciting. I've liked to do it. I'm just now getting back into vlogging because I've been really, it's been very difficult with us having our other business. Trying to get that organized and upgoing, and it's still a work in progress, but I think I think we're going to pull through, and I'm grateful for that. Been praying for that, but there's lots of changes, lots of moving parts going on. So I figured, I need to continue to be productive on my end and not focus and dwell on the frustration that I'm going through. So I thought, you know what? It'll work itself out. We've got the right parts moving. Let me go ahead and get back into updating and staying in touch with you guys. So I think that's it. I got a great sunrise video for you too. So you guys stay healthy. And as far as the coronavirus is going on, I think that's coming to an end. I'm seeing less and less people wearing masks. I only wear it when I'm told. Now, I'm not saying it's not real. It definitely was real. But I just think it's been way overblown, and I don't understand why you would shut down an economy for this. But second guessing is not the right time to do that right now. Key is for us all to pull together, get through this, and move forward. Okay? So you guys take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.